Hello. So I am making sausage, peppers, and onions for dinner. It's kind of a late dinner because we've had a very busy day. Um, but I thought I would go live and hang out with you guys. Might not make it all the way till the end of the recipe when everything's cooking, but I'll show you basically what I do. I have a sourdough loaf in the oven right now, and I thought that would be really, really good with sausage and peppers and onions. I usually make sausage, peppers, and onions when I need to get rid of some bell peppers. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Uh, First thing I'm going to do, usually with sausage, peppers, and onions, is you want to use Italian sausage. I didn't have any on hand, so I'm actually using kielbasa. So that's what we're going to use. It's sausage, it'll be just fine. So let me get this open. And I would have liked to have had a little bit more sausage than this, but we're cleaning out the fridge. We're doing what we're doing. So generally when I use kielbasa like this, I'll just cut it into thin pieces, about that thin. And then I'm actually going to throw it in a hot pan. So let me get some oil in the pan. Okay. So put a little bit of olive oil in the pan. We're going to let that heat up. Then I'm just going to continue slicing this. Brian's upstairs somewhere, so I'm sure he'll poke on real soon and say hi. But anyways, how's your guys' Wednesday? Oh, hey. Wow, already got a lot of viewers. I've not just started. Oh, happy birthday, Amy. That's awesome. Let me get closer. I can't see. I wish there was a way to make this a little bigger. Actually, I wonder if I can expand my screen so I can see you guys better. That's a little better. Karen, hello. Amy, James, I'm good. How are you? Hi, Devin. It sounds great. Thank you, Fran. That's wonderful. Tammy. Okay. Brian's watching from his phone. Hey, Brian. He'll be downstairs in a minute. So this isn't going to be just like, the usual cooking thing where I'm giving exact measurements and I'm literally just hanging out as I cook dinner. We are starting to get more and more comfortable with YouTube and figuring it out, and it's actually a lot of fun. I wish we would have started a little bit earlier, but no time like the present, they say. So I've got the sausage that's going to go into a hot pan, and you just kind of want to brown it. And then I'm going to cut up my onions, my bell peppers, and I also have some tomatoes I want to use. So when I make sausage, peppers, and onions, I actually like to have kind of like a tomatoey sauce with them. I don't know, it's delicious. Everybody makes them a little bit different, but that's my favorite way. So I have a little bit of leftover marinara sauce behind me, and then I'm going to throw some of these tomatoes in there too and let them get soft. And then we're just going to serve the sausage, peppers, and onion over some sourdough. Sounds good. So hold on just a second. Let's get these guys. It's magnetic. Stuff always sticks to those meat thermometers. It heated up pretty quickly. It's already sizzling. Okay. So while that's doing its thing, I might put a little bit more olive oil in there. There we go. Okay. I'm going to do the onions. Oops. Hey, Dorothy. Trying to say hi to everybody I can. Yeah, we had a lot of excess onions too, so it just kind of like worked out where it's like, oh, I guess it's sausage, peppers, and onions. It always makes the house so good. And I don't have one specific way of making sausage, peppers, and onions. The last time I made it, I literally just threw all the ingredients into a big bowl, mixed it up with olive oil, Italian seasoning, a little bit of salt and pepper, and I threw it on a sheet pan in the oven and just roasted it until everything kind of came together. It was really delicious. But tonight I'm gonna just do it the normal way, where you brown your sausage and then add in the veggies. See if I can get this peel off. It's giving me a hard time. There we go. Good enough. And these are kind of small, so I'm just going to do 2 or 3 of these. We'll see. What did you guys have for dinner tonight, or are you having? Ooh, Dorothy, add sauerkraut with that. That'd be good. Sometimes I like to add mushrooms to sausage, peppers, and onions. That's really good too. Everything is looking blurry, out of focus. Huh. I don't know. Brian's watching. Brian, or maybe he still is. Does it look blurry to you? We're still trying to figure out our setup, because on YouTube you got to film horizontally and not vertically, like holding your phone. So we're actually using our computer for this. But our last live we did, nobody commented that everything was blurry. So who knows? It could be our Wi-Fi right now, or it could be yours. You made steaks last night. Oh yeah, somebody else said yes, you are blurry. Let me make sure the camera is clean. I already did it once. Let's try to wash you guys with a rag. Yeah. It's weird. It doesn't look blurry on my end, but I don't know. But multiple people are saying it. Sorry about that. Oh, ham steaks. That sounds really good. When Brian gets down here, I'll have him. Oh, wait, you know what? I have my own phone. Hold on. I forgot I'm not connected to my phone. Let's go to YouTube from my phone and see if it looks blurry on my phone. Oh, yep, it's blurry on my phone. That's so weird. I don't know why it's showing blurry for you guys. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I don't know enough about YouTube and how to fix it. Webcam. I don't know. Happy birthday, Amy. Yeah, sorry it's blurry, guys. Camera, but if for some reason we could not get it to talk to the computer the last live we did on here, so. And then you gotta have the microphones. Those won't connect to the computer, so I don't know. I'm really over technology, to be completely honest. Okay, finally all the onion is peeled. And then with the onion, once you cut it in half, I like to slice it this way so that it's in kind of like half moon rings. You stir the meat. It looks like you're underwater. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should have like restarted our Wi-Fi or something before we started the YouTube. We'll get better, I promise. Y'all have been very kind with all the comments and everything on our videos. Our YouTube is growing. We're excited. I'm excited to do more cooking on YouTube. But yeah, we'll get the technical stuff figured out, I promise. Thankfully, these onions are not making me cry. Isn't it weird how sometimes onions, some are really bad and some don't do anything to you? You're welcome, Amy. Anyways, I always make a big batch of this when I make it because it's like one of those things that gets better as it's in the fridge, and it makes wonderful leftovers. You can have this by itself. Some people serve it over rice. Some people put it in like a hoagie roll. I'm going to put it on sourdough. Okay, let me get a little bowl. Grayson, the dog, you can't see him, he's off camera, but he's patiently waiting at the kitchen because he can smell the sausage cooking. Okay, got that done. Now the bell peppers. Did it again. I always get lucky with the baby bell pepper inside of a mature bell pepper. I don't know how, but it always happens to me. Get that done. And then for sausage, peppers, and onions, I try to use like the orange and red ones. I try to avoid green bell peppers at all times because green bell peppers technically aren't ripe yet, and they can upset some people's stomach because they're technically not ripe yet. So I try to stick to the red, the orange, yellow. But they're better looking anyways. Okay, one more. Okay, now the fun task of slicing all these up. Dorothy, good with pita bread also. Ooh, that would be good. I always forget about pita bread. I love pita bread. So these heated up really quickly, so I'm just going to move them off the heat. Okay. Almost done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the onions in the grease and give them a head start. Okay, and then I'll finish my bell peppers. Jamie, we love you too. Thank you. Okay. The thing I like about sausage, peppers, and onions, the cuts don't have to be perfect or all similar. Just get them chopped up. It's all going to kind of like melt and congeal together. Then it's going to be covered with the sauce, so it doesn't have to be pretty. Do you want a bell pepper? Here you go. Dogs generally love bell peppers, and Grayson is no exception. So these are just kind of getting into like slices like this. Look course, you want to avoid as many seeds as possible, but it never fails. A couple seeds always make their way in. It is what it is. Alrighty, we are almost done. And I'm just going to throw these in with the onions. The onions got a little bit of a head start, but not much. Okay. Perfect. Get these thrown in there. Ooh, that's already smelling good. And then since they're bell peppers and onions are going to release a little bit of their own liquid, so don't feel like you have to add any more. It's going to happen anyways. Sorry, this phone. Okay. And then since I need to get rid of these little cherry tomatoes, I thought, let's put those in there too towards the end. So I'm just going to slice these into halves. And then I put the link to my cookbook in the description of this live. If you want to learn how to make anything else that I like making right now. I found in my cookbook I generally lean a lot to Italian on things. I try to keep the spices very similar. I don't like when you're following a recipe and there's ingredients that you've never heard of or that you can't get just at your normal grocery store. So I try to avoid stuff like that. I do also try to keep it very simple and healthy, single ingredients. I try not to use prepackaged stuff. Okay, so that'll be good for that. I'll leave a few. These are like the best snacks. All right. It does smell really good in here, Dorothy. Oh, thank you. I don't know where Brian is. He was upstairs. I don't know where he went. Okay, so I'm going to let those onions and bell peppers, I actually like it when they get a little bit of, it's not burnt, but a little bit of black color to them. So I'm going to those are going to take a while to cook. You know how like when you caramelize onions, it takes forever. So I'm going to keep cooking these and keep stirring these. And then as a lot of that moisture kinds of gets out of it, I'm going to sprinkle in some oregano, a pinch or two of crushed red pepper. I love crushed red pepper with sausage, peppers, and onions. And then I'm just keeping it simple tonight, garlic powder. Again, sometimes I don't feel like chopping up garlic. I always prefer fresh garlic, but stuff like this, just sprinkle in some garlic powder. I'm going to do that, stir it up a little bit to get those spices bloomed. And then I'm going to throw in the tomatoes. And then lastly, I will throw in, I have a little bit of marinara sauce left. And what I did is I actually added a little bit of water to this, shook it up, and that's going to go into the pot, and I'm going to cover it and just kind of let it all come together, probably for about, 10 minutes or so. It doesn't take much because everything's already cooked at that point. So that's all we're doing. And then, let's see, I got my sourdough. Dude, that sourdough looks actually like it's done. I tried something new with my sourdough. I followed this one girl who makes sourdough online, and she said you don't need to put it in a certain pan, just bake it on a cookie sheet with parchment paper. And I was like, never heard of that. So I tried it, and it's actually working. So let's see. Yeah, it's definitely done. It worked. Look at that. It came out. I'm very impressed with that. So whenever you do sourdough, people want to slice into it right away and start eating it because it's sourdough, it's delicious. But you actually want to let your sourdough sit on a wire rack and cool for at least an hour. Because if you start cutting into it when it's super hot, it's actually going to get like a gummy texture inside. So we're going to move this over here. And I'm going to get a wire rack. See if I can get this. See if I can get this off without burning myself. There we go. She looks. I'm pretty impressed. I was actually really lazy with the making of this, so I'm very impressed. And we'll let that sit. But okay, well that's really about it. Again, just once the peppers and onions have some color to them, just gonna throw the rest of the stuff in, let it marry together, and everything's done. Dorothy, we used to call the little tomatoes tummy toes. That's funny. Tommy toes. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. It was good just hanging out with you guys. I hope you have a great Thursday. And then for those of you also with my cookbook, it's in the link. Don't forget at the end of the cookbook, there's a special email I've created to where if you want to share some family recipes with me, I want to make them. And I want to put some of them in my next cookbook and also call you out. So if you send me a recipe to that special email, tell me the story behind the recipe and why it's so special to you and your family. So I've already gotten some great recipes that I'm excited to go into the next book. So, all right, you guys have a great night. Thank you for hanging out, and we will see you soon. Brian will be on the next one, I promise. All right, bye, guys.